This is the national flag of Germany. And I have a question. Are Germans just organised Dutch, or are the Dutch relaxed Germans? Let me know in the comments below. But actually, that's not what I wanted to ask. What I really wanted to ask was this. How did the German flag change from this on the left to this on the right? Because if I look at the old photos of Germany, like this one from the First World War, I can clearly see a black, white and red tricolour. Today, however, it's unmistakably black, red and yellow, or gold. So how did this change happen? Well, in today's video, let's find out what happened to the old German flag and why the change occurred. For much of its history, the German lands were divided into small princedoms within the Holy Roman Empire. That is, until around 1803, when French troops led by Napoleon invaded, bringing massive destruction across numerous states. One of the Prussian units that rose to resist him was the Lützow Free Corps, a volunteer force drawn from across Germany, and their improvised uniforms featured black, red and gold instead of the usual Prussian blue. This was the first real moment when these colours began to spread across the German lands. Because so many men from so many different states, remember, Germany wasn't unified yet, served in this corps, the black, red and gold quickly became familiar to people all across the region. In 1816, after the Congress of Vienna, the remaining German states were reorganized into a loose confederation, what would later evolve into the North German Confederation. Around this time, in 1815, at Jena in southern Germany, members of the Lützow Free Corps founded a fraternity and created a new flag. Since these men came from so many different regions of what would become Germany, their fraternity became an early symbol of a growing national and unionist movement. They, and others like them, began advocating for a unified German state. At the Hambach Festival in 1832, for example, we can see another tricolour, gold, red and black, starting to resemble the modern German flag. By 1848, during the widespread social movements and uprisings across Europe, the black, red and gold appeared as one of the first symbols of a unified German state, a state that, at that time, did not yet exist. This flag was adopted by the Frankfurt Parliament and proposed as a national flag for all German peoples. But of course, the plan fell apart and the old status quo returned. Prussia dominating in the north, Austria in the south. Tensions came to a head in 1866 with the Austro-Prussian War. Many southern German states sided with Austria, and they used the black, red and gold to identify themselves and show their alliance with the Austrians. But of course, it was the Prussians who emerged victorious in the Austro-Prussian War. So now, let's shift our focus to the origin of the other German, or perhaps Dutch, flag, and take a closer look at Prussia. In Prussia, the flag featured the imperial eagle and a black and white-black tricolour. When Prussia unified with several northern German states, the colours of the Hanseatic League, a powerful northern German force for centuries, were incorporated. The Hanseatic colours, white and red, as seen in flags like those of Lübeck and Bremen, were combined with Prussia's black and white to create the flag of the German Empire, the black, white and red tricolour. This flag remained in use until 1918, when Germany was defeated in the First World War and forced to sign the Treaty of Versailles. The treaty greatly reduced the size and power of the German Empire and paved the way for the creation of the Weimar Republic. In 1919, amid great controversy, the official flag was changed from red, white and black to black, red and gold, the same colours previously used by the Frankfurt government. The Weimar Constitution borrowed heavily from the Frankfurt Constitution of 1848. Many Germans opposed this change and continued to fly the black, white and red, which they considered the true flag of Germany, especially right-wing groups such as the DNVP and later, at times, the NSDAP. In 1933, when Hitler became Chancellor, the national flag changed rapidly. Many on the right had never accepted the Weimar flag, seeing it as imposed by a puppet government following the fall of the German Empire. Hitler reinstated both the Nazi Party flag with the swastika and the old imperial flag. This dual arrangement lasted until 1935, when only the Nazi Party flag was officially allowed as Germany's national flag. Of course, 1945 marked the end of the Second World War, and with it came new changes to Germany's flags. The country was divided. The Western zones, influenced by the Americans and the Allies, favoured capitalism, while the Eastern zones, occupied by the Soviets, were aligned with communism. As a result, two different flags emerged, both using black, red and gold, but with distinct emblems. One represented the Bundesrepublik in the west, while the other reflected the socialist alignment of the east. Then, in 1989, the Berlin Wall fell, and Germany was reunified. At that point, the plain black, red and gold flag was adopted for the entire country, the same design used today. And that, in a nutshell, is the story of the German flag, and why it has taken on different forms throughout history. I hope you found this video interesting. The full story of the German flag and the inspirations behind it isn't widely known, but it's definitely a fascinating tale. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear from you. What other flag-related topics would you like me to cover? A lot of people seem to have enjoyed my previous Danish flag video I had posted, so I'll probably keep making them for as long as you keep watching. I've also got a few more videos planned for the near future, which should be exciting. I really appreciate everyone who watches, gives a thumbs up, and shares these videos with friends who might enjoy them too.